Hello, Basement family. Cheers, and welcome to another episode of True or False with AllG'sReact. And representing the AllG'sReact channel, we got Josh with us today. Say what's up, man.
What's going on, family?
All right, and of course, my name is Bruce Lively, representing the Basement Debates. Today, people, we're diving into a topic that seems to always be a hot button for hip-hop heads, right? It's like this, true or false? Today's hip-hop is as good or better than it was 20 years ago. The so-called golden era of hip-hop. Yes, that's what we're getting into. Here we go. All right, Josh, what's good, brother? How you been?
Oh man, life has been very, very good. I can't believe you even wanted to have this discussion. And what makes it even worse, I can't even believe the side that you chose in this discussion. That makes it. Oh my goodness, I don't know.
Believe it or not, once you've been around hip-hop for so long, and as much as I have been with as many different points of views as I've seen, especially here in the studio with as many people that come to record and pay for that service, you start to open your mind up a little bit. And yes, I do believe that today's hip-hop is as good, maybe even better than it was back then. Now, wait a minute. I'm gonna do a little caveat. No, I'm not saying that there's a rapper out right now that's better than Nas. He's on my top 10 of all time list. But there's probably some new people that's also in that top 10 all time list. And there's some people that don't like Nas as much. So all of that is subjective. What I'm here to say is, back in the day, hip hop used to be an underground station in your city, right?
True.
Right? Like when I was in Chicago, when I first found out, they got a hip hop station. Oh, you heard it from this friend and that friend. The joint was crackly. Hip hop is now worldwide. The influences that they have to draw from are bigger because we were starting it in the 90s and the 80s, right? They were just starting, and it was dope. It was the golden era, but now people are drawing from what they've learned there and creating something new we wanted it to get this way. We were hoping that it would become popular, that it wouldn't be underground and seen as not a music. It's that way. Everything, like Walk This Way would be just another rap song in today's world. Came out, ooh, mixing rock and hip hop. Oh, it's so, ooh, can we do this? Like, now that's not even an issue, and that makes it better. Am I wrong?
I can't believe
That you are still
over there. I can't believe it. Every time you say newer hip hop better than old, it hits my heart. Like something just shocks it and just. I can't believe those words are even being formed right now. I think you're equating, popularity and growth to good. And I believe that is a mistake we make in a lot of areas. And in hip hop, that mistake has been made. Yes, hip hop is worldwide. Yes, there's a lot more collective growth within hip hop, but that does not mean that it's all good. And there's one thing that the golden era had was authenticity to hip hop. See, new era hip hop is just now become this formulaed, manufactured sound. And now we're going to make you listen to this sound, and then we're going to manufacture it with another person who looks a different way. And then they ship it out. Then the world hears it, and then the world thinks that that is what hip hop is. So, yeah, it's going across the water, but is it really good? Is it really good music that's going across the water? So I think we oftentimes want to equate growth with things being good. Let me give you an example. Let me break it down for where some people may understand. Let's set the music aside. Let me give you this example. You have a town, a Walmart shows up. Now, Walmart sells all types of stuff, right? Good place to go in and get what you need, and it's a good chance he'll be there. So, the people get jobs, things like that start to happen. There's some good to it. But then you start seeing all the mom and pop shops shut down. People losing their livelihoods. Things like that.
God, what are we doing?
So,
okay.
When it comes to hip hop, yeah, we have growth. Yeah, we have collaborations with other genres. But the real question is it authentic?
Is it authentic?
Or is it just some formula that the big companies of entertainment that have seeped into our art?
Okay, that's fine. You can find a lot like that. That's true. There was a time, right, when there was no such thing as YouTube. And they used to do that consistently on the radio. That was done well before right now. Let's be honest. There was snap music, there was crunk music, and nothing's wrong with those styles, but whatever was the fad was all you could hear. Fine. After the radio, in today's world, my friend, we're talking about authentic. You're telling me that Rest His Soul, Triple X Temptation isn't a punk rock version of hip hop that hasn't been heard before, mixed with EDM, right? And gangster life. You're telling me that Tyler, the Creator, is just as weird, as creative as any Biz Markie ever was?
What is it exactly that you do?
Yes.
He's more out there than any PM Dawn ever was, and he's still authentic. The 14-year-old Ray Emanuel, he's aiming to be the next J. Cole out here. 14, he's as good as any Chi Ali. Chi Ali is a little more gangster, but I don't want my 14-year-old to be gangster. I submit to you that Pivot Gang, that Earthgang, that these people are changing hip-hop. They're just not on the radio. They're changing hip-hop for the better, and they're good. They're as good as any of their equivalent from those days. Just the fact that you have more means you're also gonna have more bad stuff too. I agree with you. The part of the consequence of growth and having so many people democratizing hip hop and music with YouTube and all other social media, part of that, the consequence of that is getting some that are bad, even a lot that are bad. But you have a lot. Now that the internet allows for the experimentation to reach the audiences around, we just did Dave. We just did Dave. Like, in Europe, they're coming out with hotness. Here, they're coming out with hotness. And underground doesn't mean underground because they have thousands of views, these people, and they do shows. They're just not selling CDs anymore. It's just as good, bro.
Let me interject here. Let me show you the fault in your point you made about the radio and the songs that were on the radio. See, there was a time when, yes, you would turn your radio on, there would be what we would call the party cut or the club jam on the radio. But you knew from that artist that if you went and bought that CD, the whole CD was not going to sound like that. There was going to be some authenticity. There was going to be some real music on that CD. Today, everyone is making their entire EPs and albums sound like the party cut.
But you can't tell me that all of them, you don't even sell CDs anymore. That's just a change in the time. Like, we're not mad because nobody takes a steam train anymore. We fly planes. It got better. You don't need to buy a CD. Now you can download one song at a time that you like from any artist, known or unknown. You can literally go search for it. The technology has made it better, as well as the history of it and people being able to draw from it.
Let's talk about our legends. Let's talk about, you brought up Biz Markie, which you make a good point that he would be considered a little bit off-kiltered in hip-hop. Let's bring up Biggie. Let's bring up Tupac. Let's bring up some of these, like Nas, Jay-Z. Let's bring up these legends that we have or had. Today's hip-hop, the reason why it's not as good is because it's one-sided. Almost no matter where you are in hip-hop, whether you want to be in the trap side of hip-hop, you want to be on the so-called conscious side of hip-hop, it doesn't really even matter where you are within the genre. The thing that is making hip-hop bad today, it's all problem hip-hop. Basically what I mean by that is you have a lot of rappers rapping about problems, whether it's social problems or their own personal problems, and they're not providing answers to the problems. The things in the 90s, the reason why we love Pac so much is put aside what you think about Tupac, but Tupac rapped about problems and solutions. And that's the one thing that is very, very, it's so small in today's hip hop. Is someone actually talking about problems and actually offering solutions. That's why the hip hop is not as good.
Come on, man. Wait a minute, man.
Get on your YouTube.
All of them are offering solutions.
SoundCloud.
Dave offers solutions when he decides to talk about it. When talking about the problem, naming what it is and naming, because the problems change. We live in that type of time, bro. We live in that type of time where people get to talk about Trump is the president, fam. Like the Alabama almost elected a child molester the other day, and now they want to send him to the Senate. Like, there's a lot of problems that don't have the type of solutions that you're talking about, but people are giving those solutions. Why don't you talk about Saba, who's giving solutions? Why don't you talk about Lupe, who's been given the solutions? Why don't we talk about Childish Gambino? Well, I don't know if he's giving solutions. He's talking about everything. But
exactly.
Earthgang is a solution.
Right, okay. I know you're naming these names, but what I'm saying is the overall outlook of the hip hop, not a couple of guys. For every one person offering take J. Cole. J. Cole can give you some bars about a problem and some bars about a solution for the problem in the same verse. That's just one J. Cole versus 500 other rappers who are only rapping about problems in different areas.
What I'm saying is, I don't believe that. What I'm saying is, if you're talking about what's popular on the radio or on very extinct ways of listening to music these days, even then, the ones who are winning the awards aren't doing that. The ones who are, even when you're talking about your Coles and you're talking about your K-Dot and you're talking about these other people that I just mentioned, people who talk about solutions, there's music and art always talks about problems. That's one thing that just what it is. But you're not looking at abundance of people talking about solutions or just the problem in a different way. because you're talking about the pop artist. That way of looking at music is dead, bro. It's extinct. Like I talk to whenever I'm talking to my people, they're not talking about Lil Uzi Vert. They're not. They're not talking about Kodak Black. They all know somebody who I've never heard of before, and when I click on it, they got 300,000 views, and they're touring all over America. You just don't know about it. But I'm telling you that they're out there, and there's thousands of them.
What I'm saying is the abundance, what I'm saying, the overall is take a scale, put it on the scale. The overall, one is heavier than the other. I'm not saying they're not out there, because I know they're out there. I know they're out there for a fact. But what I'm saying is that the overall, you have somebody like Cardi B beating out Nipsey Hussle for a Grammy Award. For best rap album of the year.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
What I'm saying is that is because that's what's pushed. Okay? That's what's pushed, and that is what is the overarching issue with the new era of hip hop.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you is most people who listen to hip hop and enjoy it will tell you that that's a farce. Just like most people who watch movies tell you that the Oscars is a farce. Were movies better in the 1930s? No, technology has gotten better. Recording has gotten better. Beats have gotten better. Period. They've gotten better. The voice sounds better. It's no longer crackly on a 45. It's better. But if you're leaving it up to the Oscars or to the Grammy people to tell you who's good, you're gonna fail every time. It's been that way. What I'm telling you is now music has gotten democratized to the point where that Grammy doesn't mean as much as you thought it does. Like, it doesn't. Because Nipsey Hussle is he still changed the world when he died. Even though people didn't know about him, all of a sudden, you got gang members joining. You got people calling a truce on Bloods and Crips. They changed that world over there. No matter how many plays he got on Atlanta or Detroit radio. That's what I'm trying to tell you is what you're saying is pushed. I'm telling you is deceased. It's ancient. They're trying their hardest to keep themselves relevant, but it's not. Being pushed is what people are clicking. And number two, what you said was wrong to me. If you took a scale and said, well, which one's more and which one's less, that only works when you have the same amount. In the 90s, you had 100 rappers. And the scale was, tipped way more to being, maybe not, there's still half and half. People would tell you that NWA had no answers. The Far Side was just funny music. So people will tell you that scale was different. But now there's 100,000 rappers. And so if the scale is even tipped to more foolishness, there's still 50,000 more good rappers than there was in the 90s. Even if the scale is tipped. That's not a fair comparison.
I think it very much is. Well, we have to look at the overall arcing issue of the hip hop, but I just think that I think that the people in the comment section are definitely going to agree with me that we had an era of music where we had authenticity and we had people trying to looking at our social issues, our political issues, and trying to offer those solutions. And we had those people also.
There weren't many of those either, though, bro. We got to stop that. We're looking at the past with these rose-colored glasses, fam. You had wu-tang, fam.
I'm talking about
Biggie didn't offer no issues, bro. The one person people say is Pac, and he had Thug Life tattooed on his stomach.
Damn!
I don't want to hear that. Get out of here, man. Take off the rose-colored glasses, man. Come on now. It's not that many people giving solutions in the 90s, in the crack era. Come on, bro.
Can't believe it.
All these multicolored dreaded rappers talking about prescription pills. Oh.
So see, you're looking at, you're discriminating is what you're doing.
Can't believe it.
I hear you, man. We gotta give it to the people. It's already gone too far. We don't even have enough time to do all the shout outs. What I'm gonna do, everybody, is we're gonna do a show just for shout outs and put that out. So I hope you watch. Matter of fact, let's do the names right now. I'm gonna go through the names. We're not gonna read it. We're gonna do a show where we read them and actually answer them. How'd that sound to you, bro?
Man, it sounds great. I'm down for that.
All right, so real quick, the names, the people that we need to shout out who hit us on the last few videos. YNG Dre, y'all check him out. Mayhem Young Gad, check them out. That's some good stuff too. I remember that. Lori Rhodes, Lawrence Desper, J Dog 901, Young JJ, Surround Sound, Mafia Low, Swag Jones, Coco Money, the $1 billion rapper. Y'all all got a shout out, and we're gonna do another show where we actually go into what you guys said, and I think there's just a few more.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but he has the Vegeta picture on his profile. Shout out to him. He'll know who I'm talking about because he comes in and he really gives us opinion, and that's what we really want, man. We really want y'all to come in here and give your opinions and your thoughts.
Excellent. A few more. D Elo, My Tribe TV, All Out Attack. Y'all check them out. Liam Odin Thomas, Aries, the Ram Music Channel. Woo, God. Boogeyman, Mike Wizard X, Tooved Official, Nabadi, CFJ, Papa Fresh. Dang, that's a lot. What? Jay Reed's Knocking, Captain Your Mama. Oh, we already did you. One Way UK. Yeah, man, that's all of y'all got a shout out. All of y'all get love. Everybody check out all those names. Rewind this, man, because they deserve it. But we're going to go actually into everything that you said soon. And that's it for true or false. I obviously won that debate, man. It's ridiculous.
I can't believe it. Now, why could you even say such a thing about old school hip hop? I can't believe it. Knowing that's where all the good stuff came from. These boys are still trying to mimic that 90s era hip hop, and they still can't get it right.
Marlon Craft has a song named Power that's just as good as any song from the 90s, period.
It made is power privilege, is power earned and distributed based on structures and skin you. And if your luck is significant, it be the latter. But if power was a ladder, where's it lead? Cause history say it climbs to disaster.
But listen to what I said with an open mind. You tell us in those comments if I'm right or wrong, if Josh is right or wrong. That's it for true or false today. And I'm out of here, man.
All right, man. I'll catch y'all later on.
Peace.
I'm out of here as well.
Peace.